live here, and welcome to our channel. We do the tax sales, okay? So if you don't know me, my name is Ken Letourneau, and I do, people know me as the tax sale master, okay? So let's go into this. Remember is that we focus on properties that are delinquent on their property taxes. Got to remember that. We do not focus on mortgages or bank loans, mortgages. We don't focus on those. We focus on properties that are tax delinquent, tax defaulted, people who have not paid their property taxes. And then what happens there if they have not paid their property taxes, and the government, depending on the state, will have a lien auction, will have a deed auction, or will have a redeemable deed auction. Those are the three types they're going to have: a lien, a deed, or a redeemable deed. Okay? So let's talk about this. So remember that here in the United States, if you do not pay your property taxes, okay, the government, no matter if it's a lien, a deed, or redeemable, they're always going to put a lien on that property because they did not pay the property taxes, and then they're going to charge you a penalty, and then after that, they'll charge you an interest rate also, okay? So you're going to have two whammies, a penalty and an interest rate a lot of times for not paying property taxes. So remember that, first of all, we talk about, and now we're going to talk here briefly on Mississippi, because we got to understand that the states here in the United States, it's either a lien auction, a deed auction, or a redeemable deed auction. That's it. There's three types. Now, some might have a lien and a deed, okay? But again, it's a lien, a deed, or redeemable deed. That's really what they are. So the first thing we have to understand is that we're here with the map. You can see this is the map of the United States here in the background, right over here, okay? And the map in the background of the United States, as we look at the state of Mississippi over here, we have to say to ourselves, we have to tell ourselves, okay, in Mississippi, okay, is it a lien auction state? Is it a deed auction state? Or is it a redeemable deed auction state? Every state is going to be either a lien auction, a deed, or a redeemable deed, okay? Amber, VR, welcome, Amber, okay? So what we have to do now is that we have to basically say, what are we learning? Well, we're talking about people who did not pay their property taxes. So we have the U.S. map here in the background, right over here, the U.S. map. And the U.S. map is just showing you all the different states here that some people do not pay their property taxes, okay? We're not talking about people who pay property taxes. We're talking about people who do not pay their property taxes, all right? That's what we're focusing on more and more. So if people don't pay their taxes, they're going to put a lien on the property. So in Mississippi, when you go to an auction, they're going to be actually selling you the lien on the auction, okay, on that. So the entire U.S. Yeah. So remember, the United States are going to have different auctions. Every state's going to be different, okay? So the key here is that we're trying to explain to you is that what? A lien, a deed, or a redeemable deed. Okay? So the key here that we want to talk about is that what? We want to talk about in Mississippi, it's a lien auction. Okay? It's a lien auction in the state of Mississippi. Okay? So I don't know what's happening. You can't hear me or anything like that, but I just went on to the other channels and we didn't have any problems there. Okay? So apologize on that situation, but we're still going to move on here. So, anyways, Mississippi, a lien auction here. Arkansas is right over here. Arkansas is a deed auction. Okay? A deed auction. And in a deed auction, you're going to be basically bidding to be own the property. Okay? In the state of Arkansas. Deed, remember, is the auction happens, you're gonna basically bid and you're gonna basically win the auction. You're gonna win to own the property in the deed auction. But a redeemable deed auction, which is could be like the state here down here in the state of Texas, all right, is that you will have some ownership rights, but the owner still has the right to pay the taxes back on a redeemable deed auction state. Okay? So, what did we go over today? We went over basically a number of issues. Okay? We're talking about, again, people who don't pay the property taxes. All right? And here in the United States, they're either going to have a lien auction that you can buy a lien on the property, you can get a good interest rate. And if they don't pay, you can still foreclose on the property. Or you can go to a deed auction state and you're going to be bidding to own the property at the auction. Or a redeemable deed is that you will buy the ownership rights, but the owner still has some rights to basically buy the property back. Okay? So it's very important that we understand that because it's a very low risk proposition. Just do your homework correctly, do your homework and put your money there. And you can possibly get the lien or the deed depending on the state. It's a great opportunity for you. So again, where did we go? Texas, redeemable deed. Arkansas was the deed, and Mississippi was the lien. Okay? So, guys, I want to thank you very much for watching tonight. Again, we come on here, and we're going to be on here on Friday nights. Okay? And we're going to be doing it at 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. is when we're going to be here live every Friday, okay, on YouTube channel, okay? So mark it in the calendar that you want to watch us live here on YouTube, that we will be here on Friday night at 5 p.m., give you some education, knowledge of how the tax lien business, tax deed, or tax redeemable deed business works. Okay? Thank you, Garrett, very, very much. I appreciate it for your time and effort. And follow us. We're also on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, join LinkedIn. Okay? So if you're back again, Fridays, 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. here on YouTube. Okay? On Friday nights. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a wonderful